This is Sean Paul Day from London Taxi Radio, and I'm winging it for all you knights of the road out there. A couple of days ago I was talking to this expert curator who was such an expert, his name evades me now. But what he was saying was that it was futile to format a plan now because of the rapidity of technology and the rate in which it changes, that once we had implemented this plan, it would already be defunct. And as an individual and psychologically, he has a valid point. I think he was inferring more that we should look towards our own inner compass, that intrinsic side that will naturally and innately guide us through. And sometimes we can forget that. We can go into rumination, we can go very cerebral into our own heads and start analysing and navigating and analysing to a degree that it becomes distorted and turns into something that it never was. And the idea of incertitude creates this existential angst in which we cannot see what the future holds, and we cannot format it. And so we're in this terrible place of anxiety. And yet, if you could take away the angst, if you could take away the fear aspect of that, then what you are left with is freedom. Freedom in its purest sense. And with freedom, you are faced with all this opportunity, and you can see it with clarity. The angst, the anxiety that then takes over, it creates this almost existential schizophrenia in which all these options and choices become so overwhelming that you just close down and you cannot cope and you cannot make decisions because there is so much choice out there. And the opposite to that would be kind of an existential depression, where you just cannot see the wood for the trees and you cannot see solutions for yourself or a way forward. And quite often what we do in situations like that, we navigate our future by our past experiences, and we cling tightly to the prevailing standards. The LTDA are going about business as normal. The UCG are calling the demos as normal. We cling on to those prevailing standards. And really, inside we are searching. We are reaching out for someone to guide us, something to guide us, of which there doesn't seem anything. It was Abraham Maslow, I think, said that we love the idea of our own godliness, but once we had it, we would go in search of another God to point us in the right direction. And it wasn't so dissimilar to Sigmund Freud, who talked about original happiness when we were children, and that we would spend the rest of our lives trying to recreate that happiness. But it was the pursuit of happiness which made us unhappy. And so really what we are looking for is purpose. And maybe the only way we can do that is somehow, some way, remove ourselves slightly and take an observant view of what's happening, because sometimes we can get so entrenched that we cannot navigate a way through at all. And as we know, in one way, we are the best navigators in the world. So if we was able to take that observant position as individuals, we would probably look on and see how others have strengths. And we could see the flaws, we could see the weaknesses, but we could also see the positives. And with that, we could come together as a cohesive unit and draw on each other's strengths and format that as a way to moving forward. If you find out how, don't forget to tell me, yeah? As for now, it's Sean Paul Day from London Taxi Radio, and I'll see you out there on the mean streets.